a fortune. Luckily, AmeriCorps can be the solution. With AmeriCorps, you'll earn a stipend and education award while helping people. Plus, you'll gain professional skills and make connections to help you build your career. If you're ready to start a career you can be proud of, visit serve.nebraska.gov/service to find a program for you. Paid for by Serve Nebraska, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Don't let biased algorithms or degree screens or exclusive professional networks or stereotypes. Don't let anything keep you from discovering the half of the workforce who are stars. Workers skilled through alternative routes rather than a bachelor's degree. It's time to tear the paper ceiling and see the stars beyond it. Find out how you can make stars part of your talent strategy at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
Papa, why can't we telegraph while riding a horse?
Son, there ain't no one to blame but Jeffro. He was riding old Betsy the Stallion, tip-tapping away at his telegraph, when blam! Ran right into the side of the saloon.
Well, if Jeffro can't do it, neither should you. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. This is The Deep End with Nebraska diver Reagan Hinzig and Nebraska swimmer Madison Ronquillo on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back into Ticket Weekends. This is The Deep End. I'm Harrison pushing the ones and twos. We got Nebraska swim and diver Reagan and Madison here with us as well as the semester is winding down. Are you guys done with your finals?
No. Finals haven't even started.
Oh, okay.
Finals is this week.
I hear some people that always have they have like one left, or some people get them early. Is that not a thing?
It depends on the teacher.
Okay, so that makes more sense, because I have some students that say they only have like one final left, and then they're pretty much home scot-free.
Yeah.
Scot-free, there you go. There's the term.
Scot.
But nonetheless, if you guys want to join the show, you can watch us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, as well as the Sartor Heyman text line, 402-464-56851, and then Allo as well, channel 951, if you want to put a face to the voice. It's a great way to do that as well. But guys, how's it going? I know you just came back from a graduation, your sister's graduation.
Mm-hmm.
Where was that at?
Montana State.
Okay, Montana State. How was that whole experience?
It was good. They split the graduation up in two.
Mm-hmm.
So she was in the afternoon, and it was definitely like small. It was like smaller. But no, it was nice. It was it was cold. That was weird.
Really?
Yeah.
It's been like super sticky, hot, and humid.
Yeah.
You go through any bad weather? 'Cause it's kind of been cracking down the past few days across the Midwest.
Well, I mean, I flew, so it wasn't too bad. The weather in Bozeman, though, it was weird. It was like constantly cloudy and like rainy and windy. There was one night where it got like really, really rainy, but other than that,
no layovers, though. You didn't have to wait for weather to clear up or anything.
no. Or I mean, on the way there, for some reason, my flight from Lincoln to Denver got delayed, and we flew circles around the Denver airport because we kept turning, and I was like, okay, we've turned 4 times. There's no way that's how that works. And I ended up having to run like across 40 gates.
Oh,
like
sounds familiar.
Yes. Yes. But this time there were no stairs, because you know how in Chicago you like go down underneath the runway and then come back up. At least Denver is just a straight shot.
Okay.
And completely flat. But yeah.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to be flying around 4 times.
No.
The one time I was in Denver, I did have to sit, like, once you land, this part drove me insane. We landed, but then due to the bad weather, like, we couldn't pull up to the gate for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
That also sounds familiar.
So yeah, I don't know, why is that? Why is it when there's bad weather you can't just pull up to the gate still and get off?
I don't
no
know.
idea.
You have to sit in the plane until...
Yeah. Have you ever been on one of those flights where they're trying to land and last second they pull up?
Touch and go.
Oh, I had to do that one time, and that one was like, turbulence doesn't usually mess with my head, but that did. And I was like, oh my gosh,
I need a barf bag.
Yeah.
I'd feel better, honestly. So okay, at least he didn't just say, I think it's fine. We got enough runway here. We should be able to. Because when they do that, it's like, you guys probably know, but it's just like they're looking at their landing and they're like, oof, don't got enough runway.
Mm-hmm.
So I usually feel, I've never been like experienced it, but if I felt that, I'd be like, okay, at least he's paying attention, like, and he's not
True.
just like, we got a short runway, but we might sneak it in here. Let's try it anyways.
Yeah, true.
But what, since we're kind of on that subject, what are your guys' worst flight experiences? Whether for the team, for Nebraska, or family, or personal, just by yourself. I feel like that's always horror stories. I've got
Team. Oh, sorry. Finish it. You can finish.
no,
your
that's
thought.
it. United's been my nightmare.
Team. I would say coming back from Rutgers this past year.
Is that the one where you guys running through multiple gates and you got people hurt and they're like limping to the next gate?
So fun.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's just been like a couple where like I was a senior in high school and I was leaving to go on a visit to Illinois. And while we were driving to the airport, my connection got my first flight got delayed to where I'd miss my connection in Chicago O'Hare. And I would have to, because my dad nobody was coming with me on this visit. And my connection was or I wouldn't make my connection, but that was the last flight of the night. So like we were in contact with the coach and they're like, you can either ride this bus or you can stay you can stay in the airport overnight. And my dad was like, you are 16 years old. Absolutely not.
Yeah, probably a good call.
So I never got on that flight, but that was like one of the most stressful like flight instances. I couldn't find the word. But yeah.
Yeah, that one, that's probably a good call from your dad, though. It's like, yeah, no, you're not going to just spend the night all by yourself being 16 years old.
In one of the biggest airports in the country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be stressed out.
I feel like if it was a smaller airport, there would be a different outcome.
Like the Lincoln Airport or something.
Yeah, because the Lincoln Airport's not scary.
No.
Chicago is.
No, what about you, Madison? You got any?
I'd have to say the worst one was coming back from training trip this year, where the whole thing like got delayed, and then we had to like spend the night in that really scary hotel, and then have that 8-hour layover in Chicago. I'd say that was the worst. Also, that was the worst because I was wearing like a dirty shirt because I didn't pack enough shirts, and that day we swam in the morning, so like I still like had chlorine, like I didn't feel clean, kind of thing, because we swam in the morning and I didn't have time to shower. I think something like that. Either way, it was just a long time.
Well, you had chlorine and then you had airport on you.
Yeah.
That's not a good combination.
No, airports are so gross. I realized that on my flight back here, just looking around. I was like, this is disgusting.
What did you say? We were talking before the show and Ronk was like, you're in a tube. And then she was like, where people are just farting and sneezing and coughing. And I was like, with recycled air. And she's like, yeah, it's nasty.
I think my worst airport experience is New Jersey airport. It was like 100. It's just super hot that day. And for whatever reason, like, I don't know if the ACs weren't doing very well, but it's like super hot in the airport too. I don't know if that's just always how it is, but New Jersey, it's not like a smell the flowers kind of city to begin with. Like, I'm sorry, or excuse me, state, but like, it's just not super great on the smells. And then like this is the first time at an airport as well. Like first trip anyways, first stop on the way to Iceland. And then like this dude's just puking his guts out into this bag. And like everyone else is just like getting sick because of it. And I'm like, this is awful.
Like in the plane or in the airport?
No, in the plane.
Oh.
And then another guy was like
gosh,
in the airport. Oh, it's bad. You can smell it. It just wafts recycled air, like you said. It is bad. So that's definitely like, with bodily functions, that's when I get grossed out. That'll make it a horrible trip for me. Like I can deal with layovers, all that, but as soon as like the smells and I'm stuck in a cabin, yeah, that's a tough ride.
Oh, also this past winter break when we had to come back for training, I was flying Southwest, and that was when all the Southwest flights were getting canceled. So my flight got canceled, so I had to drive up.
I forgot, why were they getting canceled again? Why was it just Southwest? I can't remember the reason.
Wasn't there like some sort of storm?
I thought it was like they didn't have like enough people working or like they were severely understaffed. And I don't know.
That sounds right. I want
Because if it was a storm, it wouldn't, like, I don't think it would just be Southwest.
Right.
Yeah, it'd be everyone. And I think you're right. Maybe it was like a staffing thing, or Southwest just itself like overbooked a bunch of flights. Something went wrong in their own system.
Maybe.
I can see that.
I don't really remember. But waking up at 4 a.m. to a flight getting canceled and being like, all right, looks like we're driving 12 hours.
I remember you texting me that too. And I was like, oh no. Oh no. Yeah.
Well, it is Mother's Day. So have you guys wished your moms Happy Mother's Day yet?
I have not called my mom yet because she is on a flight as we speak.
Okay, so you got a green. You're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that counts.
Yeah, I called my mom on the way to church.
Okay, yeah, I called my mom first thing this morning. But no, what? Since we're on the subject, since it is Mother's Day, what is your guys's like just a classic moment that you'll always remember about your mom? Whether it's a funny thing, something that she said to you that you'll held with you forever.
Before we get into that, I don't know if you've checked your phone, but Cece texted both of us because you were like, New Jersey isn't a stop and smell the flowers thing.
Oh, okay.
Cece goes, isn't it New Jersey the Garden State?
Oh, is it actually?
Yeah. I don't know if it's actually, but
if it is, then
it needs to smell more like flowers.
Well, they need to need to pick up on their state identity a little more. I don't know. I haven't been through. I was also in like the worst parts. You know, if you're at the airport, that's not a smell the flowers kind of place to begin with. So to be fair, I wasn't walking around New Jersey, but I'm also just got like I don't like New York that much either. Just as every time I go there, it's like 110 degrees, so it doesn't help.
Yeah.
And then you get all that stink from just like hot weather.
Yeah. No, not gonna lie. When we went to New Jersey, I was not impressed either.
Okay,
No,
so it's not just me.
The drive that we took from the airport to
So
Rutgers,
scenic.
Oh my!
No.
Like I was like, where am I? Oakland, California, kind of thing. Like there was graffiti on places where I was like, how'd you even get up there?
Really?
Yes.
I haven't looked at it. I haven't like gone through a long drive like that to really see what the rest is like. I just like the stuff I see on TV too, like the boardwalk, all that. Not my cup of tea.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, my mom, my mom's listening. Hi. She just texted me her worst story about flights. And she said a flight attendant helped someone on and then they peed down the aisle and she sat behind them because they continued to be incontinent.
Oh no.
That's
you get the bodily fluids and you're stuck.
That's yeah.
I feel bad for your mom. That'd be an awful. I don't know how to handle that.
I don't know either.
I don't think I would have.
Would you just get a different seat, you think? What do you do in that situation?
I would have been like, can I get on a different flight, please? Like I don't do well with smells. So I would be like really antsy the entire time.
Yeah. I would have to like force myself to fall asleep to
I think that's what I think. I'd just pop like 3 melatonins.
Yeah. Knock myself out.
And like I'm gonna just try to sleep through this as best as possible.
But
then again, I can never do that because we're on airlines here, but do you guys, you know how you can move your seat back like 2 inches? Do you guys, does that bother you when people in front of you move their seat back and restrict your leg room, or do you guys do it too?
When I lay down, I put my head on the tray table. So when they move their chair back and mess up and hit me in the head, then I get annoyed. But like I'm also like they probably don't know I'm doing this. So
sleeping
like,
on the table.
It's not their fault. But like sometimes it wakes me up and I'm like, come on. I just fell asleep.
I wish they'd just get rid of them. What does it do? 2 inches? It doesn't ever make me more comfortable when I do it.
Yeah. I think it depends on what seat you're at. Like I think it goes a long way if you're in like the emergency exit, so you can stretch your legs out and then lean back 2 inches.
Yeah, that's true.
But if you're like your feet are already cramped and you just go back 2 inches, that doesn't do anything. But yeah, I'd have to agree with Reagan. Sometimes I sleep like that, and then in the middle of the fight, they just boom, like hit me in the head. I'm like, oh, hi.
So you guys both just like lean over when you fall asleep like that?
Well, like you can't see it because we're a radio show, but Harrison is like that.
Oh, okay, like you're falling asleep on your school desk or something.
Yeah. Or like you put like your parka on there and then you rest your head on that. That's a good one too.
Yeah. Okay. So would you guys get rid of that button Do you think it
Yes.
serves purpose, or do you think it actually makes sense to have that for everyone? I feel like it just creates more problems, and everyone's just like fights about 2 inches.
I think if they keep it, I feel like the margin should be larger. Like it should be more than 2 inches. But then I also feel like we are packed like sardines in those
Mhm.
things, so I feel like they should have more leg room. Like there should be less seats so we could have more leg room and so we can lean back, kind of like a bed
Yeah.
Mhm.
or like a recliner.
That's the
But-
crazy thing about airlines, because like they don't really make any money off all the people like sardines either.
Mhm.
Like all the real money they make is first class and like the people sitting up there. So it's interesting. It's kind of always been a problem. Like they don't need to put that much emphasis because that's not the money maker anyway.
Yeah.
But anyways, it is Mother's Day. We keep
Yeah.
getting distracted by
Yeah.
airlines. It's Mother's Day. And I asked you guys favorite moments with your mom or important lesson or even just a funny moment.
There's so many.
Doesn't have to be an all time. We're not like ranking these.
The first thing that popped in my head about my mom is, do you know what Great Wolf Lodge is?
Great Wolf Lodge. It's ringing a bell.
It's like an indoor water park.
Okay.
And so we went to one in Dallas when I was like 13. So my sister was 9 and my brother was 6. And you know those like buckets that like you can fill up and just like tip over, like the little kids like to do that in
Mhm.
like the water parks. Well, my mom and I thought it'd be funny. This makes me sound like such a horrible person.
No.
But my mom and I thought it'd be funny to fill up the water and then try to anticipate when somebody's going to walk and pour it on somebody. And my mom was just like sitting there and we were like making eye contact. Like she was just sitting on the other side and she was just like enjoying watching all the people get splashed
Yeah.
with water. And she would like point at me when to drop it. And there was one point where she pointed at me to drop it. So I like poured the water and it was this lady who was holding her little girl and her top came untied. It just like fell down and she looks at my mom dead in the eyes and goes, "Whoop, sorry," and just walks away. And my mom was like in shock and I was looking at her like, what do we do? We did not continue pouring water on people after
was
that.
enough.
But like that was an all-time like laughing.
My mom's cool. Kind of.
Well, we were just like, what just happened? So that doesn't make me sound like a great person, but it was a funny moment.
No one got hurt. It's all fun
Yeah.
games.
I'd have to say like a key memory that just like automatically popped up was my mom teaching me how to ski. Like,
Okay.
Pizza, French fry, you know.
hmm
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, for some reason that popped in my head first. Like, cause like for skiing, like you can either go straight down
Yeah.
or like if you're really good, you like weave in and out. Or
Go
like,
through the moguls.
yeah, and like zigzag. She taught me how to do that.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
None of my parents could probably teach me either of those. So
Yeah.
that's the thing. I mean, is there a lot of places to go do that in California where you're from?
Oh yeah, in the Sierra Nevadas. There
Oh,
was-
okay.
And then, well, we went to the closest resort to us was about 2 hours away in Dodge Ridge, still in Sierra Nevadas. But there's a bunch of places. It's also relative, kind of close to Lake Tahoe.
Okay.
You know what that is?
hmm
Yeah. But there's a bunch of ski resorts. It's just a matter of making it all the way out there.
Yeah, that's the thing with California is like you got a ton of ecosystems all in the same state.
Mm-hmm.
So I never know what's all there because it feels like you guys pretty much have everything, but like how far are you willing to drive for it?
Exactly.
Because that's got to be like, was that like super far on the East Coast or not East Coast on the eastern border of California is where those are at,
Yeah.
like mid-east border.
Yeah. The literal eastern border is the Sierra Nevadas,
Okay,
and then the western is just the coast.
okay. How far did you go with skiing?
I mean, I can still ski pretty well. I went skiing over spring break with my sister and stuff. So
Anyone in your family snowboard?
my dad did.
Oh, does he?
Mm-hmm.
Or he did? He doesn't do it anymore.
I mean, I'm sure he still can do it, but he usually the last couple times when we went skiing, him and my mom would just hang out at the lodge, and me and my sister would go.
Skiing or water skiing? Which one do you like better?
I've only ever been wakeboarding. I've never gone water skiing.
Okay.
So yeah. So I guess I'll have to say regular skiing.
Cece says that's the funniest mom story I've ever heard, referring to Reagan. That is a pretty good one. I think I would have that moment. I'd just be like, my mom's really cool. She's like doing these pranks with me. Then. But nonetheless, we already up to our first break here on the deep end. I am Harrison Arns pushing the 1s and 2s. We got Madison and Reagan from Swim and Dive team here with us as well. Again, if you guys want to watch the show, we're streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, and Allo channel 951. And we'll be back right after this break.
You've driven by GE Landscape Supply countless times, likely without even knowing, at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. Now it's time to stop in. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. They sell in bulk to save you money, and you can buy anything from a 5-gallon bucket to a semi-load. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere. Stop by 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday and 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. Go to GELandscapeSupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
Old School with DP and J.
You could say that, I don't mess with Coach. I was asking, do you want to play pros? 99 out of 100 say yeah.
There you go.
If you think that you're going to go to the NFL and you think every coach you play for is going to be hunky-dory with you, don't even play. Let alone flip it. If you think every coach is going to like you sadly mistaken.
93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. That's doihaveprediabetes.org.
Wait, did they just say 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes? That's 33.33333% of adults. That means it could be me, my boss, or my boss's boss, or me, my favorite sister, or my other sister. That's 7 members of my 21-person romantic book club. Wait, the 1 in 3 could be me, my karaoke partner Carol, or my karaoke enemy Jeff. I'm going to take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
This is your captain. We are going experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Old School with DP and J.
You could say that, I don't mess with Coach. I was asking, do you want to play pros? 99 out of 100 say yeah.
There you go.
If you think that you're going to go to the NFL and you think every coach you play for is going to be hunky-dory with you, don't even play. Let alone flip it. If you think every coach is going to like you sadly mistaken.
93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
A smoke-free environment is the only way to fully protect from the dangers of secondhand smoke. That's why smoke-free policies are so important to me. Whether it's in my car, apartment building, or when I'm dining outdoors, there's no place for secondhand smoke or e-cigarette aerosol. Breathe easier knowing that. Visit smokefree.ne.gov. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide or experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, call 988 for free, confidential, and compassionate support. On July 16th, the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline is transitioning to 988. There is hope. For 24/7 support, call, text, or chat 988.
Sponsored by Nebraska DHHS, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Back to the deep end with Reagan and Madison on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back into the deep end on Ticket Weekends. I am Harrison Arns here with Madison and Reagan from Nebraska Swim and Dive Team. And again, we were kind of going all over the place. It's Mother's Day, so we went through airline stories. We're all over the map on this one. Did I miss a conversation when I was...
No, I just thought that sentence was funny.
Oh, yeah, going with
It's
airlines,
Mother's Day. So we talked about airline stories.
It was all over the place. We got you learning how to pizza French fry, very heartwarming moment with your mom, and then you dumping water on a woman that led to a, what do you call it, a wardrobe malfunction.
Yes.
So a couple interesting ones, but nonetheless, we're going all the way up until 12, and then we'll have the breeze with Haas and me, and then we'll still have Ticket Weekends. We'll have Mike Melby, and then as well as Ricky C. Simmons later tonight as well. So plenty of Ticket Weekends ahead, and I'll be here for all of that with you guys. But nonetheless, we got some time here. School isn't done quite yet for you guys, but where are you guys at right now? How much you got left? I know you talked before the break. You got a final left? It seems like both of you guys, or how many do you have, Reagan?
I have 3 finals and an audition.
Ooh, so you got quite a bit left on your plate.
Yeah.
How's that going?
It's going.
How's the stress levels? Or anxious levels?
High.
High?
Very high.
Okay, when you know what the due dates are for all of those?
I have a final on Tuesday, and then at 3. And then I have a final at Wednesday morning from 10 to noon, and then my audition is at 2, and then my last final is on Wednesday from 6 to 8.
So you got Tuesday and Wednesday. You're just kind of packing them all in there?
Oh, I don't get a choice.
No,
it's
but
not
they're
like
all
whenever.
packed in
Yeah.
on Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah, and I get my keys to my new place tomorrow, so I start moving tomorrow.
Oh man, that's kind of tough to be moving right in that time window. How much stuff do you have to move? Do you think it's going to take all day, or is it going to be a nice kind of maybe half a day process?
Considering everything is not nice and neat in boxes, I have not very much started packing.
Well, you have a couple things in boxes already.
Well, I mean, like my clothes, I don't have in boxes or anything, so that's gonna take a while.
I just throw those in a garbage bag, which seems really sad. But when I'm moving tons of clothes, it's like I'm not gonna get boxes. I'm just wadding them all up, and then when I come home, dump them all out right away. And then the ones that are super wrinkly because they just got shoved into a garbage bag, then I'll have to just put them in the dryer with the dryer sheet. But it's better than using a million boxes for clothes.
That's true.
True. Yeah.
How many times have you guys moved so far?
Like in college or?
Yeah, just in college. Have you moved? Is this be your first move since coming down to Lincoln?
Second. I had to move out of the dorms.
Okay, so you kind of know what you're doing. The first move is
Not
always
really.
stressful.
Not really, because my first move out of the dorms was COVID.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So it was just kind of throw everything wherever and get out.
Yeah, I suppose in the dorms too, you probably didn't have too much stuff at that point yet.
You'd be surprised. Like, I never realized how much stuff I accumulate until I'm packing, and I'm like, where did all this come from?
So do you have any like couches, mattresses, like stuff that you got to worry about like that?
Yeah.
You got help for that?
My roommate.
Okay.
Or my future roommate.
Okay.
Because Madison's gonna be packing too.
Yeah.
So I don't want to have to ask anybody, especially like during finals week and everybody else in my house is graduating. So they have their own stuff to deal with. But I do have a truck, which helps.
Yeah, I know. The truck is big. If you have a truck, like you can do a lot of stuff independently already, or at least get to the point to where you can get it to point A to point B and just wait for help.
Yeah.
The worst part is being strapped with like a small car and you have all this heavy stuff and you're just like begging friends to borrow their truck.
Yeah.
That's never a fun situation.
Mhm.
Madison, what about you?
How many times
No, we'll start with school first, then we'll go into your moving
Oh.
packing experience.
I have one final on Wednesday, but it's cumulative. So we have a lot to learn and a lot to go over.
Is it open note?
No, it's in
Oh.
person.
Oh.
Written.
Written?
Yeah, like actual pen and paper.
What's the class?
Medical nutrition therapy. I mean, I really enjoyed the class. The teacher is super cool. She's actually going on the Japan trip with me, but I was looking it over the weekend. I was like, oh gosh, this is a lot.
Do you mean written like multiple choice or written like short answer?
Oh, there is going to be multiple choice and like matching.
Okay, that's not that bad.
Yeah, no, I don't have to come up with an answer out of my head.
It's like not completely short answer questions.
Yes. Yeah.
Which I feel like is worst case scenario.
That's always worst case scenario.
Mhm.
Because now it's like, did you get the answer right? Yes. Did you come to the conclusion correctly? And you get points off for that. I feel like you don't. Like if you just wing it and get it right, it's like point off anyways.
Yeah.
Which is always brutal. One of my favorites is I remember it was a calculus class and it wasn't me. It was one of my friends. They didn't know the answer. And it was short answer form. You had to explain like how you got there. Guy gets the answer, total guess. And then he takes points off, but he still writes, I don't even know how you were able to get this right. But yeah, no, the short answers are by far, I think, probably the worst ones. That are the ones where it's like huge essays at the end, where it's like they kind of lull you to sleep with the multiple choice that are easy. And then you get to the end, it's like 3 essay questions.
Yeah.
Sounds like standardized testing.
Basically standardized testing. A lot of those feel like that. Did you guys do the ACT or SAT? Because from Nebraska, I feel like everyone does the ACT.
I did both.
I did too.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's so interesting.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I took both, but like I didn't like. I did it for the sake of having a score.
Is it common for people to take both?
I
Because like
feel
no
like
one
in-
really took both. There's very few. I'm not saying it didn't happen, but everyone is like, give me my ACT score, and that's all I'm really looking for.
I feel like in Texas, the SAT is more popular because we take the PSAT every year in classes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
So is it common to see people take both or no?
I
Or is it
wouldn't say it's
everyone-
uncommon,
Okay.
but I'm not really sure.
You think more people take the SAT though?
Yeah. I think the ACT is easier though.
Yeah, I mean, it's multiple choice. But they're hard. They're really hard questions. That's the only thing.
Yeah, but I personally felt like the ACT was easier because I feel like those subjects, like there wasn't as much emphasis on English. And I suck at reading and analyzing, especially when it comes to poems. I suck at that. So I bombed that section on the SAT. And then I'm fairly good with grammar. So the ACT has a grammar section.
Yeah, it's got your English section. And then it's
Yeah.
got your reading, but it's different from your English.
Yeah.
Mm.
So
Yeah. See, I feel like in California, everyone took both because the UC system and the Cal State system, they each required something different. So it was.
That would suck.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would not. Yeah, the SAT. It's one of the things that I was like, I thought about trying it just to try it, but like once I got my ACT scores, I was like,
Yeah.
well, I'm not going to study for an SAT because I feel like, how long was the SAT? Do you guys remember? Never taken it, obviously.
roughly the same amount of time. Like
Really?
4 hours.
Yeah. Yeah. Like there was like probably like 2 breaks in there, but they were both like 10-minute breaks.
Okay.
Something like that. Yeah.
Don't miss it.
No, I don't miss those days either. Those are just like I'll never forget like the anxiety you have too before you even get the results because like you really have no idea
Yeah.
unless maybe you guys did. When you guys finished your SAT or ACT? Did you guys ever feel like you're like, oh yeah, this is a good one?
No.
It was to me. I was totally guessing every time.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
I'm
I
not
hadn't-
guessing, but I'm guessing what my score would be. Anyways.
Yeah. Well, even during the test, I had no idea what I was doing. I'd be like, okay, that sounds right.
Did you have a bunch of like books and did you take like classes for it?
No.
I had to every Saturday. Was it Saturday? Every Saturday, I'm just going to say it's Saturday because it was either Saturday or Sunday.
Mhm.
I'd have a 3-hour SAT prep class.
Ooh.
What?
Do you remember the name of the course, like the teacher? Because we had something, but it was for the ACT.
I don't-
ACT, excuse me.
I don't remember, but it was from 8 to 11 and it was not fun.
That sounds awful.
Because like I'd go to my high school on Saturday.
Oh.
Like no.
Yeah. Did you have to pay for that or was that just
Mhm.
like off? Oh.
You had to pay for it. And a lot of people in my class actually did it. But then you'd also have to get all the books
Mm.
and all the study materials and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
See, I was looking up to know I was I wanted to swim in college and like so I didn't have to really worry about the admission piece with the SAT and stuff for the ACT.
Yeah.
So there wasn't too much pressure on it. It was more so pressure on the swimming part to get to the college that I wanted to go to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of the name. We also had to do the thing. It was like a prep. It wasn't mandatory though. I think
No,
we
it wasn't
do. There's
mandatory.
one thing that was like mandatory, and then after that, it's like okay if you want to do it. But it was for the ACT, and I liked it because it was like tips to what to do if you didn't know, like how to guess the right bubble,
Mhm.
which was kind of nice to have. Like if it was English, it was like just pick less is best. Like literally just pick the one that's the shortest.
Conciseness.
Yep.
Yeah, that was in
You
mine
remember that
too.
one too?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like some actual tricks in there that work like really well. Like especially because I remember after I didn't take the course, but I just remember that part with the English, and then like I did way better the next time because I only took it 2 times. But like it's crazy. I think that's why the ACT is easier.
Yeah.
Because you can kind of eliminate options if you use like tips and tricks. If you're not, smart in that subject, like you can find ways to like at least get a 50-50 shot on getting it right.
Mhm.
Yeah. But man, we really are all over the map. I think we just had
What a
like
great
what
last
10-minute discussion on the ACT SAT.
As we're all way out of high school.
As you guys are getting ready for college. Well, at least you are, Madison, getting ready
Yeah.
for college graduation. We're talking about ACT scores. Well, since we're there, what are you looking forward to? You're not too far off.
Yeah, just in general.
Yeah, graduation day was walking across the platform, getting your diploma. What are you showing off your diploma to your friends and family? Like, what are you most
Yeah.
excited about?
I'm most excited to like be in the crowd.
Okay.
Yeah, I love being in crowds and just like around people. So I'm excited to people watch and just like sit there and look because it's gonna be 4 straight hours of people watching, and then like looking up into the stands. Oh yes, that's another thing. I'm excited to see the stands like full
Mhm.
from the field because I always
Oh,
look
yeah, that's
down.
true. You never-
This time I get to look up.
That will be a
So,
cool experience.
Yeah,
Are you gonna do you bedazzle anything like your
I
cap?
did. Oh, I show you. I can't wait to blind people with it when they look down.
Yeah, I think last time we talked, you said you were gonna you had quite a bit going on there.
Yes, I finally finished it, and here we go.
Oh, that actually looks pretty good. If you can see it on the stream.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not gonna blind people too much. If you get the right tilt on it, maybe.
Maybe, yeah. I
Is-
thought about adding more, but I was like, less is better, I guess.
Do we only have one ceremony?
Yes, we have one ceremony for the entire undergraduate class. So
4 hours, probably.
yeah, 4 hours totally. And then we have the student athlete graduation after, and then we're doing like a swim and dive get together after that.
You know what the plans are for the swim and dive get together after, or is it still up in the air?
It's still kind of up in the air, but mainly we're just going in the backyards.
Okay.
Because we all like share a backyard.
Right.
So just hang out back there with the parents and stuff.
Yeah.
So,
That'll be a good time.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully you don't blind anyone. I don't think you will though. How long did that take you to put that together?
It took days.
It took days.
It took days.
Hours, days, weeks, months, years.
It was a lot of trial by error though, but then we eventually got it. So I'm happy with it though.
So like if you messed up your cap trying to do that, do you have to buy another one, or do they just give you another one?
No, I'd have to buy another one.
Oh, that would suck. Well, at least you didn't have to go that route. Did you have any mishaps where you're like really nervous about having to start over?
No, except I tried tracing it at first. When I started tracing it, the cap was backwards.
Oh no.
So thankfully, I was using a marker that wasn't working. But other than that, no, there wasn't anything. But before I even started, my parents were like, you need to buy a second one in case you mess up. And I was like, well, what if I don't mess up? Then I have a cap for nothing. They're like, you should still buy it. I was like, do you think I'm gonna mess up? And they're like, yes. And I was like, oh, dang. Okay.
So you took it personal, and then you didn't mess up as a
Yeah,
result.
exactly. That was the motivation I needed.
Reagan, when you get to that day, you think you're going to bedazzle your cap and gown?
I have not thought that far ahead. I don't know. Maybe I'll decorate it with something.
Well, are you a crafts and arts kind of person?
Crafts and art.
Arts and crafts.
That's why I
First
paused
time
too.
said
I was
that.
like, whoa.
You guys are picking up way too much today. Picking me apart. Arts and crafts. Are you one of those type of people?
Were you here when we tried crocheting during a segment?
Yeah, but who knows? Maybe you got into it. You're gonna suck at everything if it's your first time, unless you're just an absolute natural. That's rare.
I'm very much an arts and crafts person, so
Okay.
I'll decorate it in some way. But also, Sarah was wondering, she's getting her master's or graduating with her master's, and she was wondering why it was in Devaney because it's usually in Pinnacle, and it's on Friday, and it's because of the Shania Twain concert.
Are you?
Oh my
Oh.
gosh.
Because the graduate
Shania.
ceremony
Uh-huh.
is usually at Pinnacle.
Yeah, the night before.
Yeah, but it's at Devaney
Are they
because of
even gonna
Shania
fit
Twain.
people?
Let's go, girls. They're adding. Sorry, they're adding extra seats, like where the banners are. They're adding more rows of seats.
That's really high.
Yeah.
Their head's gonna be hitting the rafters.
Yeah. I mean, when we stand there for volleyball games, my head basically hits the rafters
I go
anyway.
like this, and I touch the ceiling.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
That's a
Man.
bummer. Like I would
Imagine your graduation ceremony getting moved because of a Shania Twain concert.
I'd write her an angry letter. Just like, you
Who
need-
even let that happen? Like, who in the city of Lincoln?
Probably the city of Lincoln.
But who?
There's agreements. I mean, it's Lincoln doesn't own that building.
Oh,
School does, so they have to figure that out somehow.
yeah.
Interesting. Well, Shania Twain comes first, apparently. So I don't know. I think we'll just put a pin on it there. And then we got one more segment left here on the deep end. I'm Harrison pushing the ones and twos. We got Reagan and Madison from Nebraska Swim and Dive. We'll be right back.
It's May, and that means the school year is almost over and summer road trips are on the horizon. Stop telling yourself to upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home, so you don't have to worry about your current car surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride. Summer road trips just around the corner. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
The Butchery by Venue is Lincoln's premier specialty grocers. Take the quality of Venue home with you with our hand-cut steaks, handcrafted burgers, and locally sourced offerings. Browse our wide selection of specialty products designed to enhance your dining experiences with cheeses, spices, sauces, and more. We also have an exclusive collection of liquors, whiskeys, and bourbons at prices you're sure to love. Stop in to the Butchery by Venue today, located in our Venue at Home storefront at 70th and Pioneers, just 2 doors down from Venue Restaurant and Lounge.
Hey, you got any gum?
Yeah, check my backpack.
What's this?
Oh, that's naloxone. It can reverse an opioid overdose. I decided to always keep it on me after my friend almost died. It saved his life.
I'm so sorry. That makes me want to have it with me too.
You totally should. Check the pharmacy. It was actually really easy to get and it's easy to use.
I definitely will. Thanks.
Paid for by the CDC, sponsored by Nebraska DHHS, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Adoption of teens from foster care is a topic not enough people know about, and we're here to change that. I'm April Dinwiddie, host of the new podcast, Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Each episode brings you compelling real-life adoption stories told by the families that live them with commentary from experts. Visit adoptuskids.org/podcast or subscribe to Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Administration for Children and Families and the Ad Council.
This is how we do every day. We be grinding, and if you wanna come and text us,
If you love them enough to turn off your music and pretend like their music is your music,
This is Mommy's jam.
then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Let's play it again.
Check today at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
If you came across someone struggling with hunger, how would you recognize them? By their clothes, their age, the way they speak? Would you notice a 16-year-old boy who got his first job,
not for extra spending money, but to help feed his little sisters?
or a mother who's in between jobs and sometimes goes to bed hungry so her kids can have dinner? Or a 14-year-old girl who signs up to every after-school activity, not to make friends, but just to get something to eat? Or a retiree who fell ill and had to choose
between getting medicine or groceries.
I am the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger. People you pass by every day but never knew were hungry. I am hunger in America.
Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America, 200 Food Banks Strong, and the Ad Council.
Nebraska State Veterans Homes are here to serve veterans, their spouses, surviving spouses, and Gold Star parents. Join your fellow veterans and their families at one of our homes in Bellevue, Kearney, Norfolk, or Scotts Bluff. With a sliding scale to determine your financial contribution, an excellent clinical team, and plenty of fun activities, our homes are the perfect retirement choice. Learn more at veterans.nebraska.gov/homes. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Did Jaylen Brown make the right or wrong decision in helping off strong side corner?
I understand. By rule, you don't. I understand why he did. Deep penetration from the MVP. Can he find the guy in that situation when he's in his mojo? He did. And he found the guy that went nuts for the night, which is James Harden, in the corner.
Weekdays from 2 to 4 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Back to the deep end with Reagan and Madison on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back into the deep end. I am Harrison Arns on Ticket Weekends. There's Reagan, that's Madison, and you guys are always laughing at the beginning. You're throwing me off so much.
Sorry. We're giggly people.
Yeah, it's all right. I've gotten to know you guys. That's a fair statement to make. You guys are giggly people. But nonetheless, we got one more segment with these guys. Madison's got graduation looming around the corner, and then she's out. And you're not staying around for long. You got
That
places
was-
to be. So how are you feeling for that? Are you excited? Are you a little anxious to leave everyone you've gotten to know? Where you at?
As of right now, I'm excited. I think the closer we get and the more it hits that I'm
Mhm.
leaving people, it'll get sadder and it'll be harder. But right now we're nothing but optimism.
It's a good place to be. Since we're we're staying on optimism. What's been the favorite part about Lincoln so far? Whether it's a restaurant, whether it's activity, whether it's even just people you met. What about Lincoln is something you'll always remember? Don't think too hard. You're gonna make Lincolnites nervous.
Sorry. No, I was just saying probably just the Husker fan base and like
Okay.
how everyone interacts like at games or in
Go Big Red.
competitions and go big Reds. Like the fact that there's little traditions
Mhm.
everywhere, I think is super cool. Especially coming from Boise State where there was nothing like that. Not to knock on Boise
We
State.
have a lot
but-
of Boise State listeners, so no, I'm just kidding.
Oh gosh.
I really doubt it.
But yeah, no, all the little traditions of the Husker fan base I think are super cool. And also like how interactive they are and very supportive.
Mhm.
So I'd say that'd be my favorite thing about Lincoln.
The relationship between our athletic programs and just the general public.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that is a good one. The fact that you can just yell "Go Big Red" and you're always going to get a response is kind of, I think it's taken lightly at times. Like we're
Mhm.
just like so used to it, but it's kind of insane. It could be Sunday morning, and I could be at Hy-Vee. I bet you there'd be one other guy that'd shout back if I yelled that in the middle of the store.
Oh, totally.
We were coming back from training trip and we were in the Denver airport and somebody saw us wearing Nebraska stuff and was like, "Go Big Red."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's an awesome fan base.
Yeah,
I'll say to be a part
totally.
of, and then yeah, especially to have like as much history as we do have here. I know it's not been great on the guys' side lately, but hopefully that changes. But like, yeah, just the fact that we're having volleyball day in Nebraska,
Mhm.
like that's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
Are you sad you're gonna miss that one?
Yeah.
Because that one I'm excited for it.
That one's gonna be really, really cool. That one's gonna be like record breaking, groundbreaking kind of event.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think it'd be really cool. Oh, another aspect that I really liked is the culture within the athletic department. Like I think all the sports do a really good job of mingling with each other and just being really open and willing and like wanting to grow the connections between teams. And like I've especially seen that being on SAC, but just everyone's openness and like friendliness and like the understanding that we are all on one team as one. So
Yeah, absolutely. And from YouTube, Todd chimes in. He says, "Best of luck with finals and moving. Thank you for sharing your experience with us. And best of luck. Have a great graduation weekend."
oh, thank you.
So yeah, it's gonna be different. We're gonna be losing Madison here, so we'll have to figure something out. Cece seems like she's let's be real, she's chiming in anyways. So we can just plug her in and be like nothing changed. But no, it'll be a little change up here. But again, you can always catch all these podcasts at theticketfm.com. Reagan, now that Madison, she's gonna have her departure here. What's one of your favorite memories you have of her? Put you on the spot here.
Oh.
Don't cry on me. I'm just kidding. You can be as emotional as you guys want to be.
Oh man. I genuinely very much enjoy these Sunday mornings with her. Like before this, we went to Playmore together and that was fun.
Mhm.
But like I feel like I've gotten to know her a lot more through this, and I'm gonna miss her here.
That was heartfelt. That was good. No, it's you definitely see that a lot with a lot of these student athletes that come in here, and that's why I think it's cool what you said, like how you guys are more intermingling more, because it is cool. Especially, I can't wait till I move downtown because it'll be easier access for you guys to get down there too. But you're seeing that a lot with student athletes. Like I'll have shows cross over, and then the athletes will be like, "Oh, what are you doing here?" And they just talk to each other like that whole group is just like way closer than like it ever used to be. And it's cool that ticket's kind of part of that. We can be one of those rooms for people. But again, if you guys want to catch, well, we're running against the clock here. Guys, what do you got planned ahead? What are you doing for the rest of the day? One on your plans.
Packing and studying.
This is your last show. We're ending with you packing.
We always end on a solemn note. So
Usually, it is pretty solemn.
I'll just be reflecting for the rest of my day.
Well, you heard it there first. End them on a solemn note, as always. But again, thank you to Madison for being here with us on the deep end as her finale on this show. She's got bigger plans as she continues to grow her career. But again, genuinely, thank you, Madison, for being here every Sunday. Even just Sundays, moved your schedule a lot for us. So we appreciate it. It means a lot. And Reagan, hopefully you'll be back as well here. We'll see what happens once your co-partner leaves, but I imagine we'll keep you in the mix. Nonetheless, appreciate you guys listening and enjoy the rest of your Sunday.